Okay. Okay, all right. Are we on? Are we live?
Yeah, it's recording right now.
All right,
So you
thank you,
might need,
John.
and everyone
Appreciate it.
seems to be, so you don't notice that it's being recorded. I heard Jaws say that, and I think if you want to be able to talk, you need to tab over to the
Okay,
got it
I
button.
did that on mine, so I
Yeah,
think
you
we're
have
good.
to acknowledge that.
There you got it.
Yeah.
I'm hearing just about everybody, I think. So I think everyone has it, or it's not enforcing the engaging the got it button in order to make in order to give you the freedom to open up your mic and speak, unmute your mic, say that way.
Right.
Maddie, so I'm concerned, let her rip. I'm gonna mute myself and listen to my baseball game.
Thanks again, John. Appreciate it.
Bye, John.
Bye. I'll be kind of keeping an ear cocked, but
Okay, we're ready. We're ready.
yeah, that's what we thought. We started the recording.
All right, Barbara, we're recording, so I'm going to start unless you have something to tell us first. Are we ready? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. So I guess the first thing to start out with is news. So everybody should, as of right now, be on iOS 15.5, which was released yesterday. And that's important because there are a lot of security vulnerabilities that were patched up. They're always finding new ones and patching them up. So you need to stay up with that so you don't get caught by some threat or some weirdness. So definitely put that on your phone. It's probably going to be the last update before they unveil the version 16 of the iOS software. So, so there's that. The other thing that happened in the news since last time is they finally put out to pasture the iPod. I don't know if you guys remember the iPod. About 20 years ago, Apple released it as their music player, and it was the forerunner to what then became the iPhone and iPad. But they're finally not producing those anymore. They're actually.
I have an original one.
You do, with a little round wheel on it and everything?
Yes, and it's
Yeah,
turquoise, and it's in real good shape. And
Yep,
I got
yep.
lots of things you can use it with.
Yeah.
So someday I'll have some money, right?
Yeah. Well, my speculation, real quick on that, what happened is the iPod came out, changed the music world because everybody was dealing with Napster and getting music illegally. And then Apple put up its store, got its little music player out. And then they got to the iPhone. When they released that, they then changed the iPod to look just like the iPhone, but smaller and not have the telephone stuff in it. So now they've got like a real small tablet looking thing, the iPod, then the iPhone in the different sizes, then the iPads in the different sizes. So I guess the iPod is kind of long in the tooth and they were done. They don't need that one anymore because you can do everything on your iPhone and iPad that you could do on an iPod. So it was just sort of redundant at this point. So I think that's probably why they decided to nix it after all these years. But it did serve the company well. And that's the other thing that happened. The last thing I can think of what's going to happen is that there's going to be a worldwide developer conference in Cupertino from Apple, and it's going to be early June, I think around the 6th. I'm not exactly sure, but you can go to apple.com and get all the information about that. And that's when they announce their new technologies and gizmos are coming out with. It's always a thing that's looked forward to every year, and it usually forecasts what's going to be selling the rest of the year. So there's that. And that's what I had in the news today. Any questions about anything in the news, or anybody got any other news they want to share with the group? All right. Well, we're gonna go on to the first thing here. Let's see here. So what Barbara's asked me to do. Oh, what was that? I'm sorry. What Barbara's asked me to do is go over some basic stuff in the very beginning for new members and maybe some review stuff if for people that are still struggling with things like gestures and basic things. So what I wanted to do was go over just for a minute or two voiceover and just some real quick gestures that you kind of must know if you're going to use voiceover. Now, to turn voiceover on or off, you just tell Siri to do so. You'll say, Siri, turn voiceover on or turn voiceover off. And these following gestures I'm going to give you, they require voiceover to be on. Okay. So a single finger touch or tap on the screen will say what is under the finger. Okay. So if you touch it in the upper left corner and there's a back button there, it'll say back button. It'll say what kind of thing it is too. It'll say back button. Well, and whatever you touch on the screen, if it's something that has text on it, it'll say it. If you're on the screen and the screen is divided up into a bunch of items like buttons and text and all kinds of crazy stuff. If you want to start advancing down the screen item by item, you use your one finger and you swipe to your right, my left, your right, like this, for the people who are looking at the screen. And then, of course, to go back the other way, you would swipe to your left with one finger. So those are 3 so far. The 4th one that's important is if you get to a button that you want to use, let's say you want to open something, the button says open or you want to execute it. Once you get to that button after swiping and it says open button, whatever it says, if you want to execute that button or open it, you use one finger and you tap twice on the screen for that. Now there's a bunch more. There's a bunch more gestures beyond that, but I'm just going to show you these for now, just to start out with. So that's kind of what I wanted to just with new members and just reviewing gestures, because these seem to be the hardest things for people to get inside and learn. So practicing those is real important. So I just dropped my lamp. That's the noise that just made. So I'll just leave it there. It looks like it's okay. Any questions on gestures?
Manny,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
might want to emphasize the fact that if you do a one finger tap, it needs to be with the pad of your finger, not your nails.
Very good. Yes, absolutely. Very good. This is Shirley, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So Shirley has a very good point. These displays on the phones are use your skin, and it detects the touch by putting, hate to say it this way, but a real tiny electric current through it. And if it conducts it, then it knows where you're touching the screen. So your nail, unfortunately, does not have that conductivity. So if you press it with your nail and not the skin part of your finger, it's not going to detect the tap or the swipe or whatever it is. Very good, Shirley. Thank you for that. And, in the notes, I'll publish a few more gestures that are required. You really need to know about 5 or 10 of them to really get around the phone adequately. There's many more after that, but just getting those 5 and 10 down and being able to use them and know when to use them will take you a long ways, and you won't have to rely on your sight and magnification to see what you're doing anymore. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover on that piece. Any questions on gestures or voiceover before we continue? All right, so we'll go over here. Okay, so another basic function that you guys should really work on is learning how to use the app switcher, which allows you to switch between apps and also close apps. Because if you've never opened the app switcher, you could have about 20 apps running in the background. And if you have that many, you might notice a slowdown, you might not. But it's always good to keep as many apps closed down as possible because they each take a chunk of resources. So on my phone, I'm going to show you how to do this. So let me see if I can open up some apps first of all. So let me get into my phone.
6:51 p.m.
Turn up the volume a little bit.
VLC.
You guys hear that okay?
VLC.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty
Double
loud.
tap to open.
So I'm going to open up Mail.
Mail. 22.
And then I'm going to open up
Mailbox.
Messages.
Messages. 1 Messages. Filters.
And then I'm going to open
Back
up another
button.
thing. Let's see here. Netflix, maybe.
Netflix. Loading.
Okay,
Netflix.
so I just opened 3 apps up. And if I want to switch to those apps, I have a few options. I could just tap on the Netflix icon again to open up Netflix. It'll find that it's open and it'll bring it to the front, okay? Or I can use the app switcher. And on phones that have a home button, a physical round button, you use 1 finger on it and you press it twice in succession, like bouncing a ball, like boom, boom on the button. And then the app switcher will come up. I'm going to do the equivalent on the non-home button phone. That's what I have here. I have an iPhone 10 that just has a gesture for this. And the gesture for doing that on these phones is a swipe up and then 2 haptic sounds. So here's what it's going to sound like.
App switcher. Netflix.
So there's
Active.
app switcher, Netflix.
Swipe up with 3 fingers to close the app. Actions available.
So obviously if I want to close Netflix, I swipe up with 3 fingers. I'm going to try to do it in front of you for the people looking on the screen here. You can see it. I'm going to swipe up with 3 fingers.
Closing Netflix.
Okay.
Messages. Active.
So I'm on messages now. What I can do is I can switch over to mail because I have mail, messages, and I had Netflix open. What if I want to switch over to mail? I do 3 finger swipe to the right or left. So I'm going to try that.
Mail. Messages. Active. Page 2 of 2.
Let's see if I can do this
Mail.
right.
Active.
Mail. So I'm going to double tap on mail.
Barbara McMail.
And then mail comes up. So probably the bigger thing to learn how to do in the app switcher is to learn how to open up the app switcher and then just close the apps you're not using, because there is no close button on these apps. What you do is you open them up and you use them, and then when you hit the home button or you go to the next app, the iPhone will just put them in the background and put them to kind of sleep until you call them back again. But they're still chewing up resources, even albeit very little compared to when they're just full screen and working. So again, you do a one finger double tap on the home button to bring up the app switcher, and then you do a 3 finger swipe up for each app to close them all out. So I'm going to do that now again on mine.
App switcher. Mail. Active.
So I'm gonna start
Swipe
closing
up
them.
with 3 fingers to close the app. Actions available.
I'm gonna close them now.
Closing mail. App switcher. Messages. Active.
So I closed mail, so message
Swipe
is still
up with
there.
3 fingers to closing messages. Netflix. Double tap to open.
Oh, okay, it's done. It just landed on the Netflix icon on my home screen, but all my apps are now closed. And that's how you keep your phone clean. Now, if you have a problem doing that gesture, you could just reset your phone. You could power it off and back on, and it should close the apps and then bring it up in a clean state. But that's always good to keep your phone healthy and keep it running smoothly. So, any questions about app switching or closing? All right. Tough crowd tonight. Let's see here. Let's see here. Go to the next thing here by going. Let's see. So Barbara asked me to do another review about verifying phone numbers in contacts. Now, there's a few ways to do this. You can ask Siri what a contact's phone number is and listen to it, and if it sounds right, then you're done. You can also open up the Contacts app and get in there and use those gestures that I was talking about in the very beginning of the class and use 1 finger to swipe to the right. Get over to the phone number and you can listen to it that way. So let's try both ways so you can hear it. I'm going to put Barbara on the spot here. I'm going to ask about her contact information. Hope you don't mind, Barbara. Hey Siri, what is Barbara McPherson's mobile number?
Barbara McPherson's mobile phone number is 1.
Okay,
Calendar.
I'm stopping it
Me.
from saying the whole number because this is going to go on YouTube, so I don't want to blast it all over the world. But you heard it start saying the number, and what I'm gonna what I would have done if I wasn't online here, I would have listened to the whole number and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. If it wasn't okay, then I would open up contacts. So this is how you do that. Hey Siri, open contacts.
Contacts.
Now I'm going to go,
Contacts. Contact. Christy Morrison. Search.
I'm going to search for
field.
Barbara. So I'm going to search
Double tap
field.
to edit.
I'm going to use my one finger to double tap on that field to open it up for editing.
Search.
Maybe not. Let me try it again.
Search. Dictate. Button. Search. Search.
Okay,
Search.
there we
field.
go.
Search.
Now I'm going to dictate Barbara in there. Barbara McPherson.
Inserted Barbara McPherson.
And then I'm going to go down to the search results. So I'm going to swipe to the right with one finger.
Clear text. Cancel. Search results. Barbara McPherson.
That's the one I want. So I'm going to double tap on that search result.
Barbara McPherson.
Now we're going to get down to Barbara's number. I'm going to let it speak like the first few digits, then I'm going to stop it so it doesn't get out everywhere. And then that's how you would hear the number. And then you can, of course, edit it. So let's get down to her number. So I'm going to swipe to the right till I get to her number. It's going to be about 10 swipes maybe from the top. So we'll just go through it.
Nest call. Video. Mail. Pay. Home. Mobile. Plus. 1 5 2 0.
So if I wanted to change that number, I would go into the edit button on top.
Edit. Button.
At the very top right, and then I would double tap on that with one
Done.
finger.
Dimmed.
And then I would swipe to the right with one finger to get down to the phone field again. And this time I'll be editing the phone number. I won't just be hearing it or viewing it. So let me go down there.
Add phone. First. Last. Company. Home. 5 2 0.
So right there, if I wanted to change that number, I would go into the field, double tap it. It'll then give me a numeric keypad. And then I would use, I would use the rotor gesture, which is a little twisty gesture, and change it over to characters. And I would swipe up or down to go by each number in the phone number and correct it. Or I would get to the end and I would back it out and then just retype it again. And then I would hit the done button on top once I want to commit those changes to Barbara's record, her contact record. And if you can do this kind of stuff with gestures, you basically can operate the entire phone. It's just you have to get used to the way the screens are presented, the levels you have to go through, and going back and what you want to do exactly. So you have to have a very clear vision, so to speak, pardon the pun, of where you need to go and what you need to edit. So any questions about editing contacts?
Manny, can you go over the delete, how you delete one number and how you delete the whole thing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me. You're talking about if there are multiple numbers on the contact, in the contact.
No.
Like,
If you have a phone number, and I don't know why I do this, but sometimes I type the wrong last number or the last two numbers wrong.
oh, okay. All right. So instead of going back over.
Hi,
all-
everybody.
Hello.
It's Maggie.
Oh, hi, Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
So what Barbara is saying is, how do we edit a number? So I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna start where I left off. I search for Barbara's contact. I double tap on it to open it, and then I double tap the edit button to open up her contact for editing. Now I'm gonna go to her phone number on her contact record here, and I'm gonna go to the end of the field, the phone number field. And then I'll use the backspace key to delete out the number, and that's how you would delete a number out. If you want to hear each individual number, it's more complex. Like I said before, you got to use that rotor gesture, and then it takes a little bit more dexterity to do that kind of stuff. But let's just say we want to blow the number away and put in a new number. So I'm going to do that now. So let me go over there.
Home. 5 2 0 2.
Okay, so I want to go to the end of the field. So if I double tap while I'm in that field, which is where I'm at now, I'm going to move from the end to the beginning to the end to the beginning. I want to get to the end. So let's see where we're at.
Text field is editing. 52029.
So the insertion point's at the end. I didn't want it to say the whole number, but I'm telling you the insertion point's at the end. If I double tap it again,
Insertion point at start.
it puts the insertion point at start, but we want it at the end so we can back out the number. So I'm going to do that.
Insertion point at end.
And then the way you back out a number is you just find the delete key, which is on the numeric keypad. It's going to be on the lower right below the 9. So you've got to have a 3x3 layout and then the 0 on the bottom, just like a phone. But the very bottom right is going to have the delete function, which sounds like this.
7,
Oops, not that one.
2,
Oh, it's actually deleting. So the last 2 digits were 2 and then 7. If I want to delete the rest of it, I'll just double tap and hold the key.
4, 5.
And then it's hard to see or hear that over this meeting, but what I've done is I've taken the entire phone number out of the field. Now I can type it in again. And I'm not gonna do it here in front of everybody, but that's how you would do it. You would type it in. I'll type in the first part of it. So I would type in, 5.
5, 2, 0.
That's the keypad there. And then I would type in the other 7 digits. Note that you're going to need the area code nowadays for all your contact numbers. You don't need the 1, but you do need the 520. So any questions on editing contact information, phone number, anything else for that matter? Okay, so I'm going to cancel what I did because I don't want to lose Barbara's number. So I'm going to hit cancel, and that cancel option is at the top left. If I go back up there,
First name, add photo, done. But cancel.
cancel.
Button.
I'm going to cancel that.
Cancel alert. Are you sure you want to discard your changes? Discard changes.
I'm going to discard changes.
Search.
And then her phone is back the way it was before I started editing. So you can always back out and undo things. So that's what's good about these phones. So yeah, so that's that in a nutshell. So if there's no questions, I'll go to the next guy now. Let me see here. You guys are gonna like this. I brought show and tell today, and this thing is called a Bluetooth keyboard. Has anybody ever heard of Bluetooth keyboards?
Yes.
No.
Okay. All right, so that's good. So we have some familiarity. So for everybody's information, Bluetooth keyboards are just computer keyboards that you wirelessly connect to whatever device. In our case, it could be the iPhone, the iPad. It could be anything. It could be a Windows machine, whatever. But for our purposes tonight, we're just going to talk about the iPhone and iPad. So I picked up this little number from Amazon. It's a little portable keyboard. It's tri-fold. For those of you who can see, I'm going to open it up. And let me see what it looks like here. So kind of looks like that. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's keys. On this side, there's a little pad, like a mouse pad, like a touch pad. And if I have text that I want to type in, like that phone number of Barbara's I wanted to type in, I could have opened up this keyboard and just typed it in via the keyboard. Because your phone is a computer and you can hook up peripherals like Bluetooth keyboard. So I picked up this little number from Amazon for about, I think around 50 bucks. And it's a tri-fold thing, like I said. And it comes with, let me see here. Oh, it comes with a stand. So I can put the stand behind the keyboard and put my phone right on the stand like a little computer monitor and type into it. And then of course, if I'm looking at the screen at all, I can see what's being typed. But more importantly, VoiceOver will speak as I type, which is kind of nice. And of course, you can dot these keyboards like you would any keyboard. And you can get any size keyboard. You don't have to get this compact one that I got. You could get a full 101 key keyboard, like a Windows keyboard or anything like that. And most of them will work. The only caveat is if you're going to shop for a keyboard, make sure it says that it's compatible with iOS. That's the operating system on your phone, your iPhone and your iPad. Just make sure that's the case, because if it's not compatible, it won't work with it. So, and that's basically all the prerequisites you need. And then you just use the keyboard like you would any other keyboard. So it really helps out instead of using the little bitty keyboard that comes on the screen, or if you don't feel like dictating, or if there's a problem with dictation, you can then use this thing to go ahead and type stuff into your phone. And they're real nifty, and it's metal, and it comes with a charging cord and everything. So it's got a lithium battery that should last months. You know. So, any questions on Bluetooth keyboards or devices or anything like that? All right, we are going fast. Let me see here. Another thing that I wanted to go over, has anybody ever heard of the app called eBay?
Yes,
It's
eBay.
been around since the late 90s. So what it does, what eBay does, well, what it does now, it's kind of evolved over the years. In the beginning, it was this app that allowed you to bid on items only. But it's turned into this app where you can even just buy stuff that people are selling. It's like a storefront, kind of like Amazon, except you have the ability to bid as well. So the app is called eBay. And just like any other app that you do that you do shopping with, you're going to have to fill out a profile and then optionally put a card on file if you want to bid on anything, or if you want to do anything on eBay, you got to have a card on file. And with that card, you can do things like bid for items. You can just go ahead and buy items outright. And I'm going to try to explain it a little bit. I'm not 100% with eBay, but I'm okay with it. But I'm going to give you the concepts, and then of course, if you guys get it and run with it, I'm sure you're going to find a lot of great uses for it. So the app itself is called
Calendar.
eBay, and it's spelled E as in Edward, B-A-Y. So I'm going to open that app up now. I've already downloaded it from the store, and I've already used it before. So let me get in there and,
Podcasts.
well, let me just use Siri. Hey Siri, open eBay.
Loading. Ellipsis. Search for anything. Button.
Okay, so the first thing you do, like in most apps, you're going to get a search bar. So with eBay, what's cool about that is that the way it differs from something like Amazon or Walmart is you can buy stuff that's no longer being sold. Let's say you're a collector. Let's say you're going to collect, I don't know, Cabbage Patch dolls, or you're gonna collect something that's no longer really sold. You can probably find it on eBay. For example, let's look for, I don't know, like a Mark Twain book. Let's do that. So I'm gonna go in here.
Search for anything. Search field.
Mark Twain book.
Inserted Mark Twain book.
So I'm gonna hit
Search.
search.
Loading. 1000 app. Button.
Then just like any other app, it's gonna show you like a big old results list. So let's see what's in the results list and see what we can do here.
Search for a camera. Card. Save this search. Sort. But filter. Life on the Mississippi by Mark Twain. Franklin Library. 1982. Hardcover. $59.92. Or best offer. Free 4-day shipping. Sponsored. Button.
So let's go into this. You guys heard all the details about that book. The thing that I want to show you is I'm going to look at each item will have maybe different kind of buying options. So let's go in there and see what our options are for this particular item. And these are all independent guys, sellers, selling their stuff on eBay. And so let's do this.
Life on the Mississippi. Photo. 1 of 1. Photo.
So for you visual folks, it starts out with pictures on the top, and then you can scroll through the images and see what condition the book is in, the binding, you know, and at least have a look at it to see if it's in a condition that you would want. And it's the onus is on the seller to be forthright with any kind of scratches or marks, stains, or, you know, if there's missing pages, you know, hopefully not, whatever else. So let's keep going down here and we'll get down to the buying options. So
Add to watch list. Page 1 of 12. Add to watch list.
okay, add to watch list. We'll just get that out of the way right now. if you like this item, but maybe you're not ready to bid on it, or you want to see if the price fluctuates, because the seller can change the price. You can put a watch on it, and anytime anything changes with the item, you'll be notified by eBay that there's something going on with this item, and they'll let you know what it is. So that's what the watch thing does. So let's keep going.
Page 1 of 12. Life on the Mississippi by $59.92. Or best offer.
So it's a $59.92 or best offer.
Free 4-day shipping. Get it by Thursday, May 9th.
So the one thing you got to watch about these guys is that they play with the pricing a little bit. Even though it's $59, the book might be worth less than that, and they might inflate the price. The price may not be right. You have to kind of be a little bit knowledgeable about the price of what you're looking for. And this is usually for collectors. And sometimes they'll take the price and make the book lower. So instead of $59, they'll charge you like $25 for the book, but then they'll charge you $25 in shipping instead of $4. So they play with the pricing that way. You got to be very cognizant about how much these things are going to cost you out the door when you're looking at them. So let me get down to the fun part. I'm sorry to be so talky on this, but every little piece counts here. Keep going.
Returns it, ships from you. Buy it now. Button.
So that's a buy it now button. If you want to pay $59 and some odd cents plus shipping, and then of course they're going to charge you tax for whatever tax is in our area here, then you can just say buy it now, and then it's just like if you buy something from Amazon, it'll just get shipped to you. Let's see what other options we have here.
Add to cart. Button.
Add to cart. So if you're going to buy more than one thing, you can add it to cart and then check out at one time.
Make offer. Button.
So if you think the price is not where you like it, and you could offer that person less, this is what usually happens. But they usually won't accept anything too far less than what they've advertised up here. So this $59 book, I might be able to get away with offering them $50 if nobody else buys the book or offers them more. If the person selling the item doesn't like your offer, they can reject it right in hand, and you'll get a reject notice. They rejected your offer. You're going to have to buy it or increase your offer. So that's the seller side of it. And let me see what the other option is here for this one.
Add to watch list.
Okay, add to watch list. That's the same thing as before. Now the rest of it, I can keep going, but I don't want to, kill you guys with all this information.
Manny, it's
Yeah.
important to look at the seller and at their feedback. They should have 100% feedback or down to 95% feedback, positive feedback.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting to at the end. There's a lot of description
okay.
stuff, and it's okay. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So there's a lot more information here about the item and more pictures and related items. Instead of going through all that, we'll get straight to the meat of it, which is what Barbara said. You get down to the seller review area, and if they have very good reviews, like Barbara said, 95, 100%, very little problems, that's probably a trustworthy person. Now, eBay manages the whole system. You're never going to lose your money because eBay manages it all. But this person may misrepresent the product or something like that. Something could happen. And if that person does, they start getting lower ratings. And then that's something you need to look out for to be sure you're buying from an honest person. In my experience in buying a few things there, I've had no problems with this. Everything that they said was wrong or scratched was absolutely what it was. I didn't have any surprises. And I think that's generally the way anybody who's serious on eBay works. So I believe it's a pretty safe platform. But like Barbara said, you need to check down below here.
And then also you need to check that they're in USA.
Yes, that's the other thing too. You want to be sure they're in the USA if you can, because overseas shipping is, and who knows, you got a lot to deal with customs and all this stuff too. So even if you order from Canada, there's like a delay and there's customs and all kinds of crazy stuff. So if you want to forego all that, just make sure they're in the continental or they're in the US somewhere. So that's the other thing too. So this particular item was a buy it now. But they have another kind of item where you can bid on it. You can actually bid with others, and whoever is the highest bidder gets the item. So let me see if I can find an item where you can make bids. And the only difference with that is that you can set what you're willing to bid will be the lowest bid, and into a high point if you want it to bid for you automatically. So let me show you that real quick. Let's see.
Back, button, back. 100 audiobooks of Mark Twain. All his classic books on MP3 DVD.
Let's see here.
Tom Sawyer. Photo. 1 of 1.
I'm just gonna look for it here real quick here.
180 quantity. Buy it now.
No, it's not a buy it now. Let me look for something that
Back.
I can bid on here. Let's see.
100 audiobook. Search for anything. Search for anything. Search K. Oh. Cap delete.
I don't know. Let's try something else here.
Delete. Delete.
Cabbage Patch Doll.
Inserted Cabbage Patch Doll. Search. Loading. Ellipsis. Back. Custom newborn realistic baby toy soft full body silicone baby doll and painted. Brand new. $289.99 or best offer. Free 4-day shipping. $5 off every $100 Cabbage Patch Triangle pedigree made in South Africa HM2 auburn hair brown eyes. Pre-owned. Cabbage Patch Kids. $99 or best offer. Plus $9
Let's see
photo.
here.
1 of Cabbage Patch Triangle pedigree page 2 of 11. Buy it now. Add to cart. Button.
I can't seem to find something to do a bid on.
Back. Back.
Manny,
Yeah.
Manny, try like a Hot Wheels car.
Okay.
That you might be able to find something that somebody would bid on.
Search for anything. Cabot. Search for anything. Cabot L. L.
You know, Shirley, before I try that one, let me try another one that I did in the past that I know works. And if that doesn't work, I'll try the Hot Wheels. So let me see. iMac. So I did some computer collecting.
A. C. Space. G. Numbers. Letter 3.
So I'm looking for a computer that was released 20 years ago.
Showing 11s. Loading. Ellipsis. Back. Apple iMac G3 and 5521 photo. 1 of 1. Buy it now.
Let's see here.
Back. Cut back. 1999 graphite Apple photo. 1 of 1. Ships from United States. Buy it now. Add to cart.
All right, we'll try the Hot Wheels.
Back. Cut back.
If that doesn't work, then you'll have to trust me on this because I didn't prepare for this eBay thing like I should have, I guess. I should have had an item where I could do a bid on it. Let me see here.
Search for
Manny,
Yeah.
it needs to be a collector item, like a Harley Davidson Barbie or something like that.
Tell me that again. I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
It usually is a collector item. It's usually something that they didn't manufacture a lot of, like a Harley
Yeah.
Davidson Barbie
Oh, let's try that.
or
I'll try anything at this
WWE.
point.
Graphite Apple iMac.
Harley Davidson Barbie collectible.
Inserted Harley Davidson. Search. Loading. Look back. But 0 results. Save this iMac G3 White 19 page 2 of 12.
Well, let me just explain the bidding process. So it works just the same as what we went over with the buy it now process. The only difference is that you're going to have, instead of a buy it now button, you're going to have a thing called make bid or bid. When you hit that button, the seller has already set a minimum bid that they will accept. So let's say it's a $15, well, let's say it's a $10 item. And the first bid, that the lowest bid that person will accept is 10 bucks. Now, if someone has already bid 10 bucks, then your lowest bid might be 10 something or 11, and you would make that bid. And the auction goes on for about a week. And then at the end of the auction, whoever has the highest bid gets the product. Now, what you can tell eBay to do is you say, well, without the seller knowing, you could say, my lowest bid is going to be this number, $11, and my highest bid, I don't want to pay more than $20 for it. And what eBay will do, as people make bids, eBay on your behalf will bid the next increment higher, whatever that is, $1, whatever it is you set. And it'll keep trying to outbid other people. And if you end up with the highest bid, you get the item. So that's the difference. And I was just trying to show that. It's just a bid button, that's all it is. And I've done that with 2 computers, and I've successfully beat out others on it. And I purchased directly from them too with the buy it now option. So it all works the same way. It's just play with it. You're gonna have a lot of fun. And like Shirley said, there's a lot of collectible things that you can look up. And if you're really a fan of dolls or Twilight Zone series, DVDs or books or computers, whatever it is you want, you'll probably find it in eBay.
Manny, you can just
Yeah.
put in visually impaired, and all the products they have for visually impaired people will show up. We were
Yeah,
also-
sure, yeah.
We were looking for Nancy, and we put the smart reader OCR, and it came up with 1.
You want me to look for smart reader OCR and see what it comes up with?
You
All
can.
right. Let me try that out.
Search for anything. And insertion point.
So I'm at the search field again. I'm just going to
E. L.
delete what's there.
I'm active. Delete.
Smart reader OCR for the blind.
Cat inserted search. Loading. You look back. 0 result. Save the search to get to ETA.
Not gonna do it. But anyway, I got 2 of my pin friends on eBay.
Oh.
They're $150 regularly, and I got both of them for $50 a piece.
Yeah, so
So
there you
that's
go.
why eBay is really good. The hardest part is to put in the right word to get the results you want.
That's it. And that's what I'm having trouble with here. That's why this is all drawn out, because I didn't look up the words beforehand and have them ready for you guys. But that's kind of a good thing, because you can search for anything. And like Shirley said, if it's a collectible, you might be able to get something that you could never get at Amazon, Walmart, or whatever. You can get it on eBay. You know, so it's kind of nice. It's a kind of nice little app, and I've used it, and obviously Barbara's used it. Barbara's husband is really good at eBay. He's shown me a lot of little tricks. Fascinating. Anyway, that's another story in
Yeah.
itself. So
I should put my Commodore 64 stuff on there.
you
Maybe I'll
can
make
see, and
money.
that's very good, because you can become a seller too. You could sell your stuff. And
Mhm.
you got a Commodore 64. There are collectors for Commodore computers that will buy
Mhm.
that from you. So yeah, absolutely. So it's a money generating app if you so desire. And eBay manages it all for you. So that's what's good about it. Of course, they take a cut. That's how they stay in business. So if you
Yeah.
sell something, they're going to take a percentage off of it for managing the transaction for you. But that's better than it just sitting around doing nothing, just collecting dust. So,
Oh, just rotting in the garage.
there you go. Any more questions on eBay? Anything anybody wants to see before I go to the next guy? So again, it's eBay, E-B-A-Y, and you can get it on the App Store. All righty then, I'll go to the next thing here on my list. The list says,
Calls. Respond to text.
okay. So we had mentioned this before, but I didn't get a chance to try it out.
Vertical scroll bar.
Oops, sorry. So when somebody calls you and you are busy on a call, or you don't want to answer them right now, you have the option of sending them a text response, like, can I call you later? Or I'm on the phone right now. And they'll get a text message saying that. So they know that you've acknowledged their call, but you can't take the call now, instead of just nothing. So for that to work, you got to be sure that there's one setting on your phone that's set up a certain way. So now I'm talking about when you receive a call. That's all we're talking about. So if you receive a call and you want to send a message out, this setting has to be set up so that the button's visible for you to do that. So let me show you.
Calendar, Tuesday, settings.
So you go to settings, and then there should be a phone setting down here.
Rows 4 to 14 of 115. Rows 12 to 22 of 150.
We get down here.
Exposure, battery, private, apps, wallet, password, mail, contact, calendar, no, reminder, voice memo, phone,
So
button.
settings, then phone. And then,
Syrian search, notifications, banners, incoming calls, announce calls, all incoming calls. When iPhone is unlocked, display as.
so incoming calls. So phone, it's at settings, phone, incoming calls. And that setting needs to be on full screen,
Selected, full screen,
because if it's on banner,
banner,
what'll happen is when you get a call, the only part of the screen that's going to have your call is the very top. It's going to be a little drop down banner. And you're not going to have the button you need that we're talking about to send the text thing out. So it's got to be, this has got to be set to full screen. And I'll have all this in the notes. So what I need to do is to have somebody call me, and then I'm going to text them back a message. So Patty, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So Patty?
Yes.
Okay, so if you call me, and it might drop you out of the meeting, but that's okay. And then just get back in. I'm going to not answer your call. I'm going to send you the text. And hopefully people will be able to hear me do this while we're there. And I'll show the screen as I'm doing it for the people who are visual. So can you call me, Patty? And then I'm going to send you a text that I'm busy or something.
Okay.
screen dimmed. Amazon.
That's weird. Hey Siri.
Right there.
Okay, so here's Patty. So I'm gonna go, there's answer.
Answer call, message.
Message. Says message, right?
Message.
I'm gonna do that.
Respond with, heading, custom. Can I call you later?
Can I call you later?
Calendar, Tuesday.
And what it does, it'll send Patty a message that says, can I call you later? And she knows that I can't take the call right now. That's the way it works. So you swipe back, I think twice to the left with your finger, and you'll get to a thing called message. And when you do that, the person who's calling you will get the message that you selected. I don't know if you guys heard that okay, but that's kind of the way that works. Any questions about that? All right. All righty, so let's see what's next. Here.
Meeting notes draft. Message body. News. To that just app switching contact. Bluetooth email. Calls. Location tracking. Settings.
Okay. So another setting that you may want to look at is called location tracking. And there are some apps that use that and need it. For example, your Uber app or Lyft, or something that requires GPS location services. So the way you can toggle that on or off if you're worried about that is you're going to go into settings and then privacy and then location services. So let's go there and look at that now. So we're going to go settings.
Settings. Settings.
Back.
Phone. Phone. Syrian search. Button.
Oh, I've got to go back again. Sorry.
Settings. Back. Setting. Settings. Heading.
There's something called privacy here.
Notes. Button. Rows 17 to 27. Battery. Button.
Battery.
Privacy.
Right there. Right under battery is privacy.
Privacy. Location services.
Very first
On.
guy is called location services. Mine is set on.
Location service on.
And there's a toggle switch at the very top where you can just turn that off if you want to.
Location services on.
And then
Double tap to toggle setting.
here's their explanation of location services. I'll go ahead and just,
Location alerts button. Location services uses GPS, Bluetooth, and crowdsourced Wi-Fi hotspot and cell tower locations to determine your approximate location. About location services and privacy. Link.
also, it uses many systems to try to determine where you're at, try to triangulate your location. You know, like if you need someone to come pick you up and you want to send your location, that's what it's using. It's using GPS location services. Now down below this, I have it on. So down below, this stuff's available.
Share my location. This iPhone is being used for location sharing. App clips button.
So now we have the applications that are listed that are using it. So let's keep going.
Amazon Alexa requested your location in the past while
And
using button.
So it's like a history of who's asked for your location. And I could keep going down the list, but I'll bore you to death. But you can always peruse that list. And if something's in there that you don't want, you can then try to do something about that. You can go to that app and turn location services off. You know, you can understand exactly where your location is being shared. And that's the name of the game, is to figure that out. So any questions about location services?
Manny,
Hey,
I'm
Manny.
a little lost. It's Maggie. Where,
Hi, Maggie.
I got to settings, but I don't know where to go from there.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's settings and then privacy. And then it's the
I
first
can't-
thing.
Yeah, I can't find privacy.
It's going to be under the battery guide.
Oh, okay.
There's going
Oh, I
to be,
see. Okay,
yeah, it's
I
going to be called
found it.
privacy. And then
Okay,
where I
and
was
then-
at was location services.
okay.
Now, if you
Mine
turn
says
that-
on.
Right. If you turn that off globally, then apps like Uber and Lyft are not going to be able to automatically figure out where you're at. Okay. Like if you wanted to kind of fill in where you are currently at, it's not going to be able to do that with probably not at all, without the location service. That's what that does. It gives you the power to turn that off. That's what that's all about.
So if I leave it on, that works for Lyft, right?
Yeah, and usually it's okay to leave it on, and then each app, when they want to use location services, you'll get a little alert dialog that says, do you want to share your location with this app? And it'll say yes, no, or while using the app or whatever. And then you'll choose one of those, and that location setting will be stored with the app. So typically it shouldn't be a problem. You know, no one's going to sneak in there under you and steal your location unless you give them permission to do so. You have to allow it first.
Yeah, I've got most of it says while using.
Yeah, and that's typically the standard thing. And again, you know, you wouldn't have location services on something that has nothing to do with location, you know, whatever the app is. You know, like a solitaire app game. You know, if it's asking for a location, that'd be kind of weird. So you just have to use your best judgment on how you want to share that information out. So, all right, any more questions on location services?
Hey, Manny.
Yeah.
What happened with the message? Were you able to send a message?
Yeah, I tapped on it and it should have sent you a text message.
Okay, because it threw me completely out of the meeting. I have to go back in the meeting. It
Well,
was
I
real weird.
forgot that because when you're using the meeting software, it doesn't
Yeah.
like you to switch out of it to a phone call.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, sorry about that. But you should have
Well,
a
it's
message
okay.
from.
Well, it's okay,
Yeah.
but it did. Yeah, I heard the message, but I was thinking that it just threw me off just for people, you know, for their information.
Yeah, thank you for that. So you guys got that right. When you're in a Zoom meeting or a meeting and you go to a phone call like that, chances are you're going to get thrown out of the meeting. So I don't know if that's good or bad.
Mhm.
So let me see here. Now,
Communication services. Email messages.
So Barbara asked me to review moving email messages. Because there's two ways to move email messages. So we're going to do a little review on that. So we're going to go into mail.
Doc, mail, 21. Mail, mailboxes, Barbara McPherson. Zoom link for Manny's iPhone.
Okay, so I'm on Barbara's email, Zoom link for Manny. And let's say that I want to move that. The way you would do that is you would do a single finger swipe up or down until you get to more.
Delete. Drag item. More.
And then I double tap once I get to more with one finger.
Barbara McPherson. Hi TSB members. If you. Heading.
So that's a heading. So I just got a list of options for more that I'm going to peruse through. And I'm going to go to the one that says move message. I'm going to let you listen to these options so you can hear what you can do with that more option that I just pressed. So here we go.
Close. Reply.
I can reply,
Reply
reply all,
Forward.
forward.
Archive message.
I can do a special archiving of the message.
Flag.
There's a flagging option. You can flag it as important or not. You know,
Mark is unread.
you can unmark it, like if you read it, but you want to mark it back as unread, you can do that.
Move message.
And that's what we're looking for, move message. So when I press on that, double tap on that, I then get a
Back
list
button.
of boxes that I can move to. So, and then I use my single finger swipe to the right to peruse the list.
Move this message. Gmail. Cancel. Barbara McPherson. Zoom link for man. Inbox. Drafts. Sent. Junk. Trash. All mail. Gmail. Fubar. Important.
So if I want to put it to
Foobar.
Fubar, I would double tap on that. Then that message will be taken out of my inbox and moved to Fubar. Okay. Now the second way to do this, let me go. So that's the first way. Let me back out of this all the way. So I'm going to go to the back button or cancel, whatever it is.
Cancel.
Cancel.
Button. Mailbox. Barbara McPherson.
So I did that from the list of emails in my inbox. You can actually go into the email
Select
and you can do this from
message
the
content.
message content.
TSB member.
Message content area. You can go down to the bottom and there should be a more button here somewhere. Let's see.
Toolbar. Archive. Move. Button.
Well, there's a move button there.
More actions. Button. Move.
So you go to move
Move.
and then
Back
move.
button.
You just pick the thing you want to move it to, the box. Like Fubar was the one I had last time.
Fubar.
And if I did that, it would move it. So it depends where you're at. If you're in the list of emails on your inbox, not in the email itself, but in the list, you can swipe up with one finger, get to more, go to move messages, choose the box. If you're in the body of the email, like you're in the email reading it, there's a more option on the very bottom toolbar that you pick, and then you pick the Fubar box or whatever place you want to do it to. So that's how that works. And moving messages is what's customary in this app. The only time messages are ever deleted is when you delete them out of the trash box. If you delete messages in the inbox or any other box except trash, they will be moved to trash. So a delete is actually a move unless you do it from the trash box, which when you then finally throw it away. So does that make any sense at all? So anyway, here we go.
Cancel.
Cancel out of here.
Message content. All inbox. All in.
Any questions about moving
Messages.
messages around? And by the way, moving messages is a great way to organize messages. So if you have receipts from Home Depot or something for a major appliance and you want to keep them, handy for later, you might want to create a receipts box. And then anything you get with those kind of receipts, you can then move them to receipts and they'll always be ready to go if you ever need a receipt for whatever reason. So that's kind of what those boxes are really good for. Let me see here.
Message bar.
Okay. So has anybody ever heard on the phone low power mode? Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what that is, that's your phone's way to conserve your battery. And if you've done nothing with the setting at all, which most of us have done nothing with, low power mode will automatically kick in when you get down to 40%. And what low power mode does when it kicks in is it starts minimizing these background tasks. So let's say you have an email app open and you have a news app open and messages open, okay? And they're all running. Even if it's not up in front where you can see it, your email app is still checking for messages in the background. So what low power mode says is, what low power mode does, it says, okay, we got to conserve the battery. So we're not going to check for those email messages anywhere near as often, maybe none, until you open the app up. So normally it would be checking them every so often, every few minutes, few seconds, whatever it is. And the same thing with any other apps that use data that's located on the cloud. So what happens is it'll kick in automatically, or you can manually turn it on. If you want to extend your battery life and you're above 40%, you could tell Siri to turn low power mode on. And what it'll do is it'll act as if you're in a low power mode situation and conserve your battery. Your battery will last longer, but you won't get as many frequent updates as you would with low power mode off. And then what happens when you charge your phone, when you get to 80%, the phone will then turn low power mode off and put you back into the normal operating mode. And it'll drain your battery the normal way. So low power mode, putting it on manually is a great way to conserve battery. Conserve meaning extend the amount of time you have on a charge. So low power mode is located.
Mail.
It's going to be
2100 email.
settings
Settings.
and then battery.
Settings. Apple Store. Apple Watch Faces.
and
Requested your locate privacy.
we'll
Private.
go back.
Settings. Setting.
And we're going to go to battery, which is
Battery.
battery,
Button.
which is right above the privacy thing we were just in. So battery.
Low power mode off. Low power mode temporarily reduces background activity like downloads and mail fetch until you can fully charge your iPhone.
So I can turn this on now, even though I don't need it. And then that will take place. It'll actually conserve my battery. Of course, Siri can control it. And of course, it'll automatically come on, like I said before, at 40% and then back off at 80%. So that's kind of what low power mode does. So any questions on low power mode? All right.
Is it good to leave it on or manually do it?
I think the settings, in my personal opinion, the phone settings, the way it's set up automatically, I think those are the best. Because it might slow the performance of your phone down a little bit. It might, because it's trying to save your battery. So it's optimizing your phone for, not for performance, but for battery. And that way, unfortunately, when you optimize for one, you lose in the other. So when low power mode is on, your phone is not going to run as fast. It's going to be maybe more sluggish, maybe not get you the information as readily as it normally would. So I would just go with the automatic settings. When you hear low power mode come on, stick the charger in there, and then it'll charge up to 80, and then it'll come off again. So
don't make it green, don't enable it.
I wouldn't mess with it. I mean, unless you think that you're not going to be able to charge your phone for a very long time and you're going to be using it, that's when I would turn it off manually, and that way you extend your battery a little further.
Okay.
It's a I don't know if it really makes much difference, but I know it would make at least a few minutes difference. And if you need that, if you're low on your battery, you have no place to charge it. But I'm going to talk about portable batteries later in this class. I've got some little units to show you guys. about, you know, if you run low on battery, you can carry these batteries. I'm gonna show that in a few minutes. So, all right. Well, let me see what we have here next. Oh, okay. So on the App Store, you can download an encyclopedia. It's called Wikipedia. I'm sure most people have heard of that. It's been around for a while. And you can download the app, and it's like having a digital encyclopedia on your phone, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. So let me go into the app and show you guys what's going on. So it's called Wikipedia, W-I-K-I, pedia, P-E-D-I-A, I think, something like that. And you've typed that in or specify it. You can dictate that into your App Store search. It'll come up, and make sure you get the Wikipedia app. And I think it's by Wikimedia. That's a weird name. So you download that. It should be free. And then once you install it, you can do what I'm going to show you right now. So let's
One notification. Uber Eats.
all right. So let's do that.
Settings.
So, hey Siri, open Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Explore. Back button.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the search button, I think. So I'm gonna use my single finger swipe to the right. I'm at the back button.
W. Search Wikipedia. Button. Search field. Is editing. Search Wikipedia. Word mode. Insertion point at
So I'm gonna
start.
dictate something in there. Let's say kangaroo. Kangaroo.
Inserted kangaroo.
Now, just like any other search function, it's going to allow you to dictate in the field, and then it's going to give you a lot of suggestions. And what they do with these suggestions, it kind of disambiguates, or you can figure out which kangaroo thing that you want to read about. So usually, in a general term like that, there may be more than one entry in the Wikipedia encyclopedia here for the search term. So let's get into the one we want. So I'm going to swipe to the right with one finger.
Clear text. Cancel. Kangaroo. Marsupial of the family Macropodidae indigenous to
Okay.
Australia.
That's the guy we want. So we'll do that.
Search. Back button.
Then all you do is you just put your finger on it,
Kangaroo. Kangaroo.
and then you can just start reading it. I'll give it a little bit of reading.
Landmark. Marsupial of the family Macropodidae indigenous to Australia. Separator. Dimmed. End. Banner. Edit section on protected page. Link. This article is about the animal. For the kangaroo as a food. See kangaroo meat. Link. For other meanings. See. Kangaroo. Disambiguation. Link. Period. End. Note. The kangaroo is a marsupial.
Anyway, I could let it go and go, but you get the idea. And you'll get a whole encyclopedia article on the kangaroo, and or whatever it is you're looking for. If it's in the encyclopedia, you'll be able to see what it is. And it can be anything you can think of. So it's kind of a nice thing to have in your hand, have a whole encyclopedia set in your hand. Remember in the old days when you buy the whole book set, weigh a ton and take up like 3 or 4 feet of space on your on your bookshelf, you know. So now it's all in the palm of your hand. It's kind of nice. So any questions about Wikipedia? Barbara, is there anything that you wanted to talk about with Wikipedia that I missed?
No.
Okay.
But you can do like famous people.
Yeah,
I
let's-
enjoyed that.
Yeah, let's look for a famous person just for fun, just to mix up the searches here. So I searched for this kangaroo thing. So let's go back.
For other meanings. Page one of 250. Refreshing content. Page 1 of 304.
So what I'm going to do is go find the search thing again. So let me swipe back to the left and go up.
Search Wikipedia.
There it is.
Button. Search field. Is editing. Search Wikipedia. Word mode.
Okay.
Insertion point.
So let's look for something here. Susan B. Anthony.
Inserted Susan B. Anthony.
So let's go find that.
Clear text. Cancel. Susan B. Anthony Dollar. United States dollar coin depicting Susan V. Anthony. Link.
Okay, let's see if there's another thing.
Susan V. Anthony, American women's rights activist.
All right, so let's
1820 to 1906.
let's look at that.
Link. Search. Back button.
And again, just like in the kangaroo thing, we're just going to touch it here.
Susan V. Susan V.
Have it start reading.
Anthony. Heading level 1. Banner. Landmark. American women's rights activist. 1820 to 1906. Separator. Dimmed. End. Banner. Edit section on protected page. Link. For other uses. See. Note. Landmark. Susan V. Anthony. Disambiguation. Link. Susan V. Anthony. Born Susan Anthony. February 15, 1820 to March 13, 1906. Was an American social reform.
Anyway, you get the idea. It'll go through her whole life. It'll usually break her life out into historical events and whatever. You know, they'll usually have sections that you can read about certain pieces of her life that are noteworthy, other than just a bio. So
Manny, did you have to clear the text to put in a new search?
no, it did it automatically. That was kind of nice.
that's
I like that.
Okay.
So that's the one thing about this app. It's kind of nice. You didn't have to go undo your last search. It cleared out the text for you for the next one. So very good. Yeah. Any thing on any questions on this one or anything? Somebody want anything? Anybody want me to look up?
When you install it, you have to have your Apple ID.
That's right. Any app that you install, you're going to have to verify that you're you installing it on your phone. Your friend's not doing it for you. So on these phones with Face ID, it's going to ask you to double tap on the power button, and it's going to look at your face. And if it looks okay, it'll install it. If you don't have that, you'll have to do a Touch ID, or if you don't have that set up, you'll have to type in a password. And that's the way it is with all apps in the App Store, even free ones. So, and the pay ones, you have to have a card on file. You don't have to have a card on file with Apple, by the way, but you will need one if you want to pay for a app. But Wikipedia is not a pay for app; it's a free one. So,
When I do a search on Safari, Wikipedia comes up quite a bit.
yeah, Wikipedia has a like you said, a web page interface too. This one just puts it in the phone into an app, which relieves you from all of the other extraneous stuff on the web page that usually comes up. You know, kind of simplifies it a little more. But yes, you're right.
How much data does it take for a whole encyclopedia?
You know, I don't know. I didn't look at it, but it doesn't look like that much because it's not storing data on your phone. It's taking your search results and it's going and fetching them on the cloud and bringing down just what you need to read the stuff. So it's not storing the encyclopedia locally. So.
No, I was thinking of a 30-volume encyclopedia I had at one point.
You might need 2 phones to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So yes, it's very interesting. And of course, these articles are not just text. You know, for those low vision people here, they actually have images there that you can see. If you blow them up, you can see the kangaroo or a picture of Susan B. Anthony or whoever it is, whatever it is you're looking for. And there's a lot of, the good thing about these articles is there are a lot of hyperlinks in there. So when it says Susan B. Anthony was part of, I don't know, Daughters of the Revolution, and then there'll be a link on that. And you can tap on that link and go to that thing and read about that. So you can jump around so easily on this app. It's not just you just get one plain text article. It's just like a web page almost. You can actually bounce between articles that way. But it's very nice. Any more questions on that? All right. Let's see what's going on over here. Let's see. Okay, another app that Barbara wanted me to really show you guys is the YouTube app. So just like eBay, it takes the website, the web page app, and puts it into an app that has tabs and buttons and has the familiarity of an app that you would normally use on a phone instead of a website kind of thing. So let me go into that.
Calendar, Tuesday, May
Come on, where are you?
7:57.
So, hey Siri. Open YouTube.
YouTube, cast, button. Play on TV or speakers.
All right, so
YouTube, close, button.
I got some kind of screen. I guess they've done an update. Let's see what this screen says here.
Don't miss ad-free YouTube. Try 1 month free. Don't miss ad-free YouTube. Don't miss ad-free you. Try 1 month free.
So I don't want to do that right now.
Close.
I'm going to close it.
YouTube.
Now YouTube is set up like a lot of apps out there, and at the bottom you have these tabs. So let's go through them.
Selected. Home tab.
Home tab.
1 of 5. Shorts tab. Create tab. Subscriptions tab. Library tab. 5 of 5.
So this YouTube app is not only good for people that just want to see content, but you can also create content and put it into your own channel. That's what I do on the web. I have a YouTube channel, and I post these classes up there for you guys, so it's easy for you guys to watch. Otherwise, we have to distribute them some other way, and I wouldn't even know how. But with YouTube, it's kind of convenient because it's easy. They're up there. YouTube takes care of the files for me, and then you guys can watch them as many times as you want from any device that you have. So it's really good. So this home tab, let me go back here.
Selected. Home tab. Selected. Home
Let's go up here.
tab. Explore. Selected. Apple. Gadgets. Amber. Universe. WordPress. CNUM. Trailer. Hard Rock. Sketch. Soft Rock. Button.
So these are all the little things that you can explore, the things that I like.
Hotels. Guitar solos. Acoustic electric guitar.
So based on my searches in the past, it's trying to figure out what interests me. Like John, I do play a little guitar. So I've been on here and I've done like searches for whatever, classical, flamenco, whatever it is. And then they remember that. So they try to, in my best interest, put the things that interest me up on this top bar. And if I were to tap on that, it would bring in all the videos that it thinks are related to that search. So that's what I'm doing here on top. I'm going through all of these suggestions. So let's get off of the suggestions, go to the next part. I don't know what this is.
Install. Phone cleaner minus clean storage. Remove unnecessary files.
So these are apps that it's advertising for me to install if I want them. Of course I don't want them.
Action and Kish sound check complete Hartford. Corn.
And of course, it just brings up all kinds of stuff that it thinks that I might like on my home page. So let's go to the next tab. So the home tab is something that's designed for you. It's your home base. So let's go to the next one.
Shorts tab. Open
Shorts.
shorts camera button.
I have no idea what this is.
Hashtag Johnny Depp. Link. Hashtag Johnny Depp made Amber Heard laugh.
Okay, so it's playing these video shorts automatically without me even trying. So let's go to the next thing.
Create. Tab. Create. Close. Button.
What I was doing there. So, see here.
Create a short. Button. Upload a video. Button. Go live. Button.
This is for content creators. Hang on a second. Let me close this out.
Close.
It's not letting me stop it for some reason. I don't know why.
Subscribes to this subscriptions. Tab.
Okay.
Cast.
So those shorts
Chapter
things,
filter.
I've never played with those short video things, but it looks like it's trying to show you little snippets of videos, and then you can then upload content via the creator tool, the creator piece right next to it. The other tab that I was in, it's this other tab called
Create.
Create.
Tab. 3 of 5. Selected.
And that allows you to take videos that you have on your phone or videos you take, and you can then upload them to YouTube, give them a name, tell them if it's for kids or not, titles and all that crazy stuff. And then they will then post the videos for you, and then you'll see them just like any other video on YouTube. So, and then this one that we're on now.
Selected. Subscriptions. Tab. 4 of 5.
I think these are videos that I'm subscribed to, or video channels that I'm subscribed to. So content creators on YouTube can create what are called YouTube channels. And in those channels, they can create a bunch of videos. But the umbrella above all those videos is the channel itself. And people can subscribe to your channel. So when, let's say if you put videos up and you call it the Barbara channel, Barbara McPherson channel, and you put videos up, all your subscribers will know when you get a new video up there, because they get notified through YouTube that, hey, Barbara put a new video up, here it is, boom, there you go. And that's what subscribing does for you. It keeps you informed about activity on the channel. And then this last guy, library.
Library. Tab. Cast. Button.
I think these, if I'm
Play
not
on TV or
mistaken.
screen. Angular momentum bike wheel demo. Short version.
So let me see what these are here. I'm trying to remember what this was because I forgot.
Johnny Depp made Amber Heard laugh. Hit Angular momentum bike wheel history. Button. Your videos. Button.
So I guess these are videos that I've kind of downloaded so I can watch them offline with my library. So that's kind of the way the YouTube app works. And of course, you can search for any kind of videos. That's the whole idea for doing this. And up on the very top, which we haven't talked about yet, you have these controls. Let's go up there.
Cast. But notification. Search.
We'll search.
Search field. Is editing. Searching to. Word mode.
Now, just like any other search thing, I'll put in a search argument, like kangaroo, I guess. Let's see. Kangaroo.
Inserted kangaroo.
And let's see what the search results brought us.
Back. Clear search. A kangaroo fight.
So
Search
kangaroo
suggestion.
fight, let's look at that.
Back. Button.
So if I wanted to, it's showing me a list of videos in a search results list. And the first one is this one. I'm not going to play it, I guess. I'll just put my finger on it.
4 minutes. 13 seconds. Kangaroo boxing fight vertical line life story vertical line BBC Earth.
That sounds interesting, actually. Anyway, if you want to watch kangaroos fight, I've just given you the key to that door. So there's that. But again, this is just an example of you can pretty much find anything you want on the internet via, content-wise, basically. So, any questions about YouTube and what it does or what it doesn't do, or did I completely confuse everybody about this app?
Manny, you want to tell them how to find your channel?
Oh, my channel? So
Yes, please.
if you're in the YouTube app and you type in my name instead of kangaroo, but if you want to watch kangaroos fight, I don't mind, but if you want to see my stuff, we'll have to go back and do a different search. So let's see, we'll go back.
Back. Button.
Little back button on the left top. We're going to do that.
Back.
We're going to go back
Yes.
into
Button.
the very top of the interface, the screen. There are these buttons, and one of them is going to be search. So let's get over to it. I'm going to do a swipe to the right with one finger.
Notification. Search. Button.
And then I'm going to go into the search.
Search field. Is editing. Searching to.
So I'm going to look for Manny
Insertion
Solis.
appointments. Manny Celis.
Do that.
Back. Button.
And then it's going to show not just videos, but then it's going to show these channels. And this is what Barbara was wanting me to show you. So my channel is the very first hit. So that's pretty cool. So if I put my finger on there, this is what it sounds like.
Manny Celis. 5 subscribers. 14 videos. Button.
So I've got 14 videos up there. 13 of those are TSB and 1 is my own. And I've got 5 people who are subscribed to this channel, this YouTube channel. So those 5 people, whenever I post a new video like today's, as soon as after John sends it to me and then I post it up, these 5 people are going to be the first to know. And then of course I'm going to let Barbara know and then she distributes it. But if you're on this subscriber list, you'll get the video first probably a day or two before everybody else. And that's how that works. And there's other channels here too. And I think, well, there's my story down here. I can see that with my own eyes. Like here.
3 minutes, 50 seconds. Manny Salas blindness story. Subscribes to this.
So there are on top are the channels, which have a bunch of videos inside of them. And then you have the individual videos below the channels, like this one right here. So I think I hit the top on both of them. So, hey, maybe I'm getting famous now. So, but that's the way that works. Just look for me. And,
Manny, that's a purchase app, isn't it?
No, YouTube is free. YouTube is free. Now, if you want to do what Nancy did, like getting the YouTube TV and stuff, that is a pay for service. But these videos, my videos and kangaroo fighting and all that stuff, and this app, that's all free.
If you want to buy an app, one that does charge, how do you pay for that? I've never bought an app.
So in the App Store, if there's a pay for app or an app with subscription, it'll have it instead of the download or get button, it's going to have a dollar amount there. It'll be, well, let me show you. Let me just show you. So we're going to get out of this YouTube thing. And I'm going to show you exactly.
Calendar, Tuesday.
So let's say that you're going to go to the App Store.
App Store.
You want to download KNFB.
Search. Heading.
The KNFB app, maybe. Let's try that.
Games. Apps. Search
I
field.
think that one costs.
K. N. F. B. Search. Search. KNFB. Search field.
So it's
Double
looking,
tap
it's
to edit.
loading. Take your time, no problem. Okay, here we go.
Advertisement. Voice stream artwork. Image. Vertical tab. Games. Apps. Arcade. Selected. Artwork. Page 2 of 13. Speechify. Audio text reader. Listen to the web. Docs and PDFs. One-step reader. Instant access to print. Page 3 of 13.
There we go.
$99.99.
Okay. So if I wanted this app here, it wasn't KNFB, but good enough. Like this app here, here's what it sounds like.
One-step reader. Instant access to print. 3.5 stars. 195 ratings. Button.
Okay, and then if I wanted that, if that was a free app, it would say get, but this one has a price.
$99.99. Button.
If you press that button and then you do your Face ID or whatever it is to authorize, you will get charged by Apple that amount plus tax.
How do they charge you? Where does the money come from? I don't have a credit card there.
Well, they already have that figured out. So if you have no credit card on file with them, when you press the $99, Apple will know that and it'll say, well, you need to put a credit card on file to make this purchase. And then,
Okay.
and if you do that, then it'll charge your card. So again, you pay
But
for
a lot
apps.
of the apps have the get.
Most
word,
that means
and
they're
then
free.
they have the little bitty print under their in-app purchase.
That's right.
So is that free or are you paying for it?
And then
If it says get, it doesn't cost you to get the app. I don't know what
Even
happens
with-
after the fact, you know.
Even in that little tiny print underneath it?
when
Yeah.
it says internet purchase, it means you have to pay for it, Annie.
Well, to get the app itself, just the application, you'll either pay for it or you don't. Now, after the app is loaded, it depends on the author. They say, well, if you want the full version, you got to buy this, or you can use this free app. You know, it all depends on the author. But to get the app, you can either get it for nothing or you'll have to pay some amount, and then that functionality will be based that way. It just depends on the person who develops the app and sells it on the store. That's all. For that.
But how do I know? It says get and then underneath in-app purchase. How do I? You're saying that if it says get, it's free, but it has that little tiny print under it.
Well, let me look at a get one. Okay, let me just make sure I'm understanding what you're saying exactly.
Well, the YouTube was like that. I was looking at the YouTube as you went along.
Okay. Let's see.
Page
YouTube
213.
had get the tiny little print under it.
All right, let me take a look. Here, let's see. Here's one that has a get.
Get in-app purchases button.
So if I press on that,
Get in-app loading. Double click to install. Double click to install.
let's see what it says here.
Speechify audio text reader. Speechifying offers in-app purchases. Account. Deramani@gmail.com. Confirm with sign button.
So this one is not going to cost me anything to get. I'm not sure what the in-app purchases means, but I know that if I do this now, nothing's going to be charged to my card. I would have to look that up, Andy, to tell you the truth. I don't know.
Oh, please, because I see that and I've never bought one, but if I'm going to buy it, I'd like to know how much it is, and it doesn't ever say there.
Okay. Let me just verify that. I'll put a pin in it today, and I have this video, and I'll remind myself to
Okay,
flush that
Thank
out
you.
for you. So sorry I didn't have the right answer for you.
no, that's okay, you're going to get it.
All right.
App Store.
So any other questions about YouTube or this in-app purchases or getting from the store? All right.
App Store. 8:13 p.m.
All right, let's see what we got here. I think I got a few more things to show you. Let's see.
External memory.
All right, so one of the peripherals that you can get for your iPhone or iPad is an external battery. And that can come in the form of a case that you stick on the back of your phone for protection. It can have a battery inside of it that is integrated with the case and the phone. So when you put the plug in, it charges the battery on the phone and the case. And then when the phone battery runs out, it'll take battery power from the case. That's kind of nice. But it does make the phone a lot heavier because it's like having a double battery. Because that's most of the weight of your
Manny?
phone. By the way.
Maddie,
What's that?
it's
Yeah.
Maggie.
Yeah.
For the people who don't want that wonderful one that you had me get a number of years ago that you just carry, and it gives you 2 full charges.
I'm going to show that actually. I have that right here.
Yeah.
I want to show that to everybody. So yes,
That's the best buy going.
this is what Maggie's talking about. For those of you who can look at the screen, it looks like this. It's got a white cable here. This end plugs into your phone. This end right here in my left hand on your right of your screen, that plugs as a lightning port thing. And on this, you have USB. And then if I want to charge something like my phone, all I do is plug this into my phone. And hopefully,
8:15 p.m. Status bar.
so what I'll do is I'm trying to get my hands free here. I got like a battery and phone and a cable. So what you do is you plug this into your phone, and it's a separate battery. You can take it in your wallet or your purse, and you'll have like at least 1 or 2 more charges besides your phone in case you run out. These things run for about $20 on Amazon. They're cheap, but they really work well. I've had this for 3 or 4 years at least, and it's never failed me. So if I put this in here, if it fails me, it'll do it right in front of all you guys. That's what let me see here. So I plugged it in. Like mine, I have to turn it on. Normally it's automatic. So there's a button on mine right there. Now, when I press that button, you're going to hear it say charging. So let me just get it ready so it will do that. I got the battery pack in my one hand, my right hand, and I got it hooked to my phone in the other right here. So here's what happens when I turn it on.
81% charged. 1 notification. AT&T. Status bar item.
So if I want to know what's going on with my battery now, I can just ask Siri. Let me just do that.
App Store.
Hey Siri. Battery.
Battery is at 81%.
So it says 81%. Now, if I put my finger on the battery icon way at the upper right,
81% battery power. Charging. Status bar item. 81% battery power. Charging.
it's charging.
Status bar item.
So what it does, it gives you
Swipe down
like,
with 3 fingers to review
it gives you extra life if you ever run low on battery. You can plug one of these puppies in, and it should charge your phone within like an hour or two because it's got plenty of charge. I mean, this is just one big fat battery that Maggie was talking about. And they come in all kinds of sizes. They have little small cylinder ones or even bigger ones or smaller ones. This one seems to do it for me. You know, when I run low, I can do at least 1 or 2 full charges on the phone with it. And then I got to charge the battery itself to fill it up again. But it's a great little, you know, life preserver for your phone if you need it. I rarely use it because my phone's battery lasts a long time. But as your phone gets older, as we discussed before, your battery is the first thing to wear out. So these things on Amazon are about $20. They're just little battery backup batteries that have the cords, the charge cords with them. So, and I'll put the link to this in the notes in case you're interested in one of these. So, all right.
Manny, Manny, it's Maggie again. The one thing is that if you're using it, you can use your phone while it's charging.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
Double tap to open. App switcher.
Sorry about that, Maggie. Hang on.
Yeah.
Closing app door.
Well, go ahead and ask me again. I did something wrong on my phone. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I just said it. The nice thing about it is if you're running low and you're charging it, you can use your phone while it's charging.
That's right. Absolutely. So I always suggest that people, you know, Patty has a real small little cylindrical one. It's saved her bacon a few times. You know, she's used it on her iPhone, and it's given her power when she was almost out. And maybe she needs to call an Uber and there's no more power on no cable. And she's got that little thing in her purse and hooks it up. It's just fine. So it just depends on personal taste on how big of a battery you want to carry with you. Now, the only thing is, you might get some static in an airport because they've always had problems with these batteries for some reason, or in the past they did. I don't know, you know, what it is, but that's sometimes a problem in airports. So. Okay, any more questions about batteries? We okay? All right, so let me go to the next thing. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought I'd lost you. My thing went blank. Okay, sorry. So another
My
setting
phone
that-
did. My phone did too, and then it came back.
okay, because I thought something happened with Zoom, and I'm going, wow, is anybody still there? I don't want to be
We're
talking.
still here.
Okay, great. So the one thing that I wanted to go over in settings is the sounds and haptics settings.
One notification.
Let me get in there.
34 minutes ago.
My phone is so
One
chatty.
notification. App switcher. Closing YouTube. Closing Wikipedia. Closing set. Closing mail.
Okay.
Closing eBay.
So sounds and haptics, they're very important. That's why I'm going over them. Let's just go in
Closing
there.
contacts. Settings.
So we're in settings, and we're going to go
Double tap
down
open.
to sounds and haptics.
Sir, Dick, Monk, Air, Blue, Select, Personal, Sounds and Folk, Sounds and Haptics.
So sounds and haptics is located under notifications and above focus. So we're going to go in there.
Vibrate. Heading.
Okay. So here we go. So there's a heading called vibrate.
Vibrate on ring. On.
Obviously, when your phone's ringing,
Double tap to toggle.
if you do not want it to vibrate, you will turn this thing off. So it's that haptic vibration. And then it can also be,
Vibrate on silent. On.
so if you put your phone on silent or mute, and you do not want it to vibrate, you would turn that setting off too. So the first one is called vibrate on ring, and the second one's called vibrate on silent. I have both of those on, and those are the default settings. Let's keep going.
Headphone audio. Setting.
So headphone audio is kind of curious. Does anybody use headphones here in their with their iPhone or iPad?
Yes.
Okay, so
Headphone safety. Button. Headphone notifications. To protect your hearing, your iPhone will measure headphone audio levels. If you exceed a recommended 7-day limit, a notification is sent and the volume is turned down.
so those of you who like to blast music through headphones, iPhones have a safety thing in there that tells you that, hey, you're putting too much sonic energy into your ears and you could damage your eardrum. So that's kind of one thing it has. There's another thing down here.
Reduce loud sounds. Your iPhone can analyze headphone audio and reduce any sound that is.
So they also utilize what's called by audiophiles a compressor. And what it'll do is it'll even out the sounds a little more. So it kind of boosts low sounds, and then it truncates loud sounds and tries to make them more even. So you don't have these low and then loud stuff after that, then soft. It tries to make them kind of, the same volume all the way through. That's what that's all about. And I think that's all for the headphone stuff here.
Link.
So kind of a neat thing to help protect your hearing, because you don't want to lose your hearing. You already got a problem with sight. You don't need to lose hearing. And so let's keep going.
Sounds and haptics. Sound. Vibrate. Headphone safe. Ringer and alerts.
All right, so this is more of the sounds, ringer and alert. So my ringer is at what percentage here? Let's see.
Sound volume. 50%.
So I got a
Adjustable.
50% volume is usually
Swipe up.
the standard. And then below that are going to be the ringtones, I believe. Let me see.
Change with buttons.
Oh,
On.
so if you've got a person who's got problems handling the phone and they're always hitting these volume buttons every time they grab it, you can turn the volume buttons off for the ringer and stuff, so the ringer doesn't get silenced or doesn't go crazy high by accidental pressing of the buttons during a call. That's what this setting takes care of. So let me do that.
Change with buttons. On.
So I got mine set to on, so that means when it's ringing or whatever I want, I can adjust the volume to where I like it. If I have that setting off, I would not be able to change the ringer volume of the phone while it's ringing.
The volume of the ringer and alerts can be adjusted. Sounds and vibration pattern. Ringtone. Reflection.
So
Button.
here on these settings are just the different tones for the different events. So you got the ringer, you got
Text tone.
text tone,
New voicemail.
new
Choo-choo.
voicemail,
New mail.
email.
Note. Sent mail. Calendar alerts.
We'll keep going.
Reminder alert. AirDrop. Keyboard clicks. On.
So keyboard clicks. So when you're typing on the virtual keyboard, I don't think it extends to the keyboard that I showed you before, but the ones on the screen, as you type a letter, it'll go click, 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 like an old typewriter. It'll have those clicks.
Lock sound. On.
Lock sound is when the lock screen comes up, it does this little tone. So that's what that is. You can turn that on or off.
System haptics. On. Play haptics for system controls and interactions.
So these are the various sounds that it puts out when you go back or when you get to the end of a list and it goes thump, thump, thump. These are all those sounds. You can turn those on or off.
Play haptics for system.
And that's basically it for sounds and haptics. It's just a way to help control sounds on your phone a little bit better. Any questions about sounds and haptics? All right. So my next thing I think was I was going to use Seeing AI to recognize handwriting. So let me try something here. All right. I should have prepared for this better or been more prepared for it. Let me get a piece of paper.
You need a bigger desk.
I do need a bigger
You have too
desk.
many things on your desk right now.
I know. So I'm gonna write on this thing, whatever this one, on this thing here. And I'm gonna try to write the best I can with my limited vision. I'm gonna write a secret coded message. So this Seeing AI, what it does is it recognizes handwriting, not cursive or script, but just normal stuff. So I'm gonna write the word hi there. I hope that's what I'm writing. Okay. So I wrote that. I'm going to go into Seeing AI. And this is good if you have handwritten notes and you want to read them, or if someone leaves you a note handwritten, you could then read it with Seeing AI. So let's go into there.
Seeing AI. F4, Alt, Channel, Shift, /T, product, person, currency, scene, color, grid, handwriting, preview.
So here's handwriting. So I'm going to try it on this. I wrote this on this. For those of you who can see, there's some handwriting there. And I'm going to see if I can read that. So this was unrehearsed, so it's going to work great or it's going to fail miserably. One of the two. So let's see here. So handwriting, what I'm going to do is see if I can do this.
Take picture, button. Take picture. Processing, cancel, button. Control.
So let's see.
Hi there.
Yeah, it found it. Hi there.
Save photo. Hi there.
So it read my handwriting. Hi there. So it's really good at reading handwriting if you've got handwritten notes. So Seeing AI is a great tool for that. So any questions on that, handwriting and Seeing AI? Okay. I think I have one more thing to show you guys. We're going pretty quick tonight.
Message file. Page 2 of 2. Message file.
I'm sorry, let me get to the bottom here.
Excuse me.
Oh, so I got another another show and tell thing here. Let me get that. So these are what are called wireless chargers. Does anybody know how to use wireless charging on their phones yet? Have you any experience with that? Okay.
No.
I bought one, but I couldn't figure out how to make it work. And then I
Okay,
lost the
so
instructions.
if you have an iPhone 8 or newer, they have built-in wireless charging, meaning that it's ready to be put on a wireless charger, and it'll take wirelessly charging from the charger through the air, through the case, right into the phone. If you have an older phone, older than an iPhone 8, you're going to need get a case. If you want to do this, of course, get a case that has this feature in the case, and then it can link with a wireless charger. So typically a wireless charger looks like this. It's a round little circle pad, and I've got it in front of the screen and I'm rotating it. Here's the business end of it on top here. Now, if I put my phone on here, I'm gonna try to do it where you guys can see it. Maybe not. Maybe.
80% charged. One notification. Uber Eats.
So
45. Try it. 80% battery power. Charging. Status bar item.
so that works
Swipe down with 3 fingers to read one.
with me just putting it on here. So they have these kind here that you can put on your desk and you can just lay it flat. They also have another kind that I think I have brought with me. Okay, like this. And for those of you who can see, this one has a round thing that's kind of slanted up. And that you can lay your phone right here. I don't have it plugged in, so it's not going to start charging, but your phone would, like on a nightstand, you could put it there like this.
46 minutes ago.
and it'll sit like that, and then it'll charge at night. Maggie has one of these. I helped her get one of these. And then on the side
Yeah,
here.
I love it.
And then on the
It's
side here, you have
absolutely
an Apple
fabulous.
Watch. It goes there. And of course, there's a charging port on the back for like an iPad that can sit up in the back. So it's a really nice little charging station. And these things are not very expensive either. I forget what we paid, Maggie. I think it was 30 or 40 bucks for one of these or something like that.
I think it was a little more, but not much.
Yeah. And it'll keep your stuff charged very well. Very good unit.
Well, it charges fast. That's the
Yeah.
thing is if you need a quick charge, it does it beautifully.
Well, the one thing about lithium ion batteries, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, and I won't go too deep in this because I'm going crazy. But if your battery takes 2 hours,
47 minutes ago.
if your battery takes 2 hours to charge, 80% of that charge happens in the first hour, and the last 20% takes the other hour. So it's easy to get the battery to 80%, but that last 20% takes just as much time. So that's kind of the way the chemistry in the battery works. So that's good for us because you can get your phone to 80% in the half the time it takes to charge the full charge, which is really good. That's kind of good. Otherwise, we'd have to wait almost a full 2 hours to get an 80% charge. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind. If you can get your phone to 80%, just take it off the charger and go with it. You don't need to get to 100. Just at least get 80 in there, and then you're going to be doing pretty good. So I think that's all I have. Do I have anything else? It's 8:33. Do you want to stop, Barbara, or do you want to? What do you want to do?
I don't know. See if anybody has any questions.
Okay, yeah. Like Barbara said, does anybody have any questions about anything that I can answer? I know I go pretty fast, but I really want to help if I can. Okay. I think everybody knows everything. My work is done here.
Well, if you guys are done, shall I pull the
We're
plug?
done.
I suppose I'll pull the plug then?
Yeah, I think so, unless Barbara's got anything else.
No, thank you so much, Manny.
You're welcome. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys. Thank you, John.
All right, sure.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night,
everybody.
Manny.
Bye. Take care of
Bye.
Good
yourself.
night.
Thank you.
Take care.
People that left the meeting. 1520 ***591 that left the meeting.